Welcome to my creative workspace. This is where I create and spend countless hours just scheming, editing, and also just bringing ideas to life in general. I definitely think that a personal workspace should be functional, inspiring, and it should also have touches of your personality in there as well. So today I'm giving you a full tour of my workspace and all the things that make it work for me. My name is Janyo, but everyone calls me Jay. I'm a creative based in New York City, and this channel is focused on all things photography, videography, and just creating in general. So if that's something that interests you, then you should definitely stick around. But let's jump right into it. Starting off with the core of my setup, my desk. So this is actually an IKEA kitchen countertop. It's called Eggbakken. I've paired it up with legs from a third-party brand that I found on Amazon called MadeSite. It's got your typical control puck with programmable settings for multiple heights. I went with this combo for the extra length and sturdiness, plus the flexibility of a stand-in desk. It's been a game changer for long work sessions, and the surface is also a really good backdrop for getting some top-down shots of stuff. On top of the desk, I have my M1 MacBook Pro, which is in dire need of an upgrade. But until then, it's getting the job done for editing, designing, and everyday tasks. It's sitting on this laptop stand, which helps with ergonomics and keeping things clean, and just raising it off of the desk as well. To give me extra screen real estate, I'm rocking the Samsung Odyssey G80 OLED monitor. It's a gaming monitor and it also doubles as a smart TV. It has a really insane contrast ratio and deep blacks as well. That makes it really amazing for creative work and, let's be honest, some Netflix breaks here and there. It has a really great design too, and the display is like super thin. It also has this really cool looking light on the back of it, and I think they call it the core lighting. You can set it to just about any color you'd like. I have it set to this warm yellow, which matches my lamp. It also has a remote that you could use to control it and just scroll through the features and settings it has, which is really nice. I have the monitor sitting on a stand from a brand called Vivo just to lift it off the desk, and so I can have some more room underneath. Since I do a lot of editing and just making content, good audio is a must. I use the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th Gen as my audio interface, and I have that paired up with the Rode PodMic USB, which is mounted on a Fifine microphone arm. This setup keeps my voice crisp and clean for calls, recordings, and just content in general. And it's also what I'm using to record this voiceover right now, and I think that it sounds very crisp, it's very clear. For audio playback, I have the Yamaha HS3 monitors. They're really small but very powerful. They give me a neutral sound profile, which is great for editing audio without any weird colorations. For peripherals, I'm using the Apple Magic Keyboard and the Logitech MX Master 3. Easily one of the best mice for productivity. Then for photo editing and design work, I use a Wacom tablet. It's one of the small ones, but it makes the process so much smoother than using a mouse, especially when working with fine details. Everything sits on these Dawn Trees gray felt desk mats, which adds some texture to the setup and keeps things from sliding around. To connect everything, I use the Anker 575 USB-C docking station, just so that I'm not constantly plugging and unplugging cables. Well, except for the one that goes into the laptop and feeds everything else. So it's a really nice one cable setup. If you're spending hours at your desk, comfort is key. So I'm using this new chair, which I found on Amazon again. It has like really solid ergonomic features, and it's got like really great lumbar support, adjustable armrests, and enough padding to keep me comfortable throughout the day. The foam and the mesh are really comfortable, and I also like the fact that the arms fold backwards, so it doesn't get in the way of my guitar when I have to practice every now and then. Lighting also plays a big role in both focus and aesthetics. I use the Mero Smart Lamp, which is Apple Home compatible, so I can control it with my voice or automations. And then for my monitor, I have the Xiaomi light bar with a wireless control puck, which is really great for adjusting brightness and color temperature based on the time of day. A clean workspace is a productive workspace, so I try to keep everything as organized as possible. The IKEA Alex drawers are where I store my essentials, and I use these dividers also from IKEA to keep everything from essentials to gear just neat and tidy and easy to grab whenever I need. On top of the desk, I have this random Amazon desk shelf that I honestly can't remember the name of, but I think it's really great for keeping things elevated and adding some structure to the setup. I mean, to be honest, even though it looks really cool, I just couldn't justify spending as much money on some of the other brands out there, such as the ones that GroveMate makes. But I think that this one looks really good and it complements the setup quite nicely too, so I'm gonna stick with it for a while. To keep my devices powered up, I use this 3-in-1 charging stand from a brand called Ace Power on Amazon. It keeps my iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods in one place, so I'm not constantly hunting for cables. Plus it keeps the desk setup looking clean. Underneath the desk, I've installed these metal cable management trays from Amazon. They help keep all the wires off the floor and out of sight, which makes the whole setup look way less cluttered. And then there's the IKEA pegboard, which holds other commonly used items and some decor pieces that make the space feel more personal. Of course, no setup is complete without some personal touches. I've got this artificial plant to add a bit of life to the space just on top of this shelf that I have in the corner. And for scents, I keep a Bath & Body Works candle burning sometimes when I work, just cause of the vibes. One of my favorite decor pieces is this Paco Rabanne Phantom perfume bottle. It looks like a little robot and it just fits the aesthetic quite nicely too. On the wall, I have IKEA frames with prints that I sourced online and printed out of Staples just nearby. I also have this metal board from IKEA that I use to display some Polaroids. It looks bare right now, but it's a growing collection. And lastly, the HomePod Mini keeps the tunes going and is good for controlling other smart devices around the room, whether it's for focus or just setting the mood. So that's the workspace. Let me know in the comments which part of the setup you like the most, and if you have any recommendations or if there's anything that you're curious about, and I will do my best to answer them in the comments. And until then, just consider liking, subscribing, turning on the notifications, all that good stuff, just so you stay in the loop of anything that I have coming out in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.